All right, guys, here's a look at the bracket so you can see where we're at, how the days, I guess, piled out. If you've just tuned in, you missed most of the cast. Sadly, as mentioned before, it's going to be the end of the sub-gifting phase of today's stream as we're into hiccups with payment options, and I don't want to have to keep asking Zombie Grub to do it. But shout out to Chanklin. Totally got subbed to the channel by Diceote. Diceote, I want to let you know that you now have full reign over Chanklin. He is now your sub-slave. If you want to time him out without having to worry about the chat rules, by all means, go ahead. If you want to use them and abuse them, by all means, go ahead. Congratulations. But now as we get back into things, we have the vetoes finishing up for Hurricane and KeeN. And it looks like the first map is going to be Catalyst.
Yeah.
Not Catalina. Keep seeing Catalina every time.
Yeah, that makes you really, really sad.
Yohasi, hey, thank you for the 22-month resub. Coming back here for 22 months in a row. Some awesome stuff to see.
Cool.
But yeah, we'll be getting into this final best of 5 now. So this is it for the broadcast, guys. After this best of 5, we are all set and done for the day. It's been a long stream too. Going to be probably finishing up closer to 5 hours, and that's just dandy. As far as our schedule goes, we do have things broadcast, not broadcast, excuse me, our broadcasts listed under the events tab. So if you want to know what's going on, when it's going on, all that good stuff. We are going to be taking a 2-day break. So Friday, Saturday is off. Saturday is Shoutcraft Kings. This is the really big community event for Total Biscuit. If you don't know what's going on, that's the one you want to look out for. But then we're back Sunday with the qualifier group for the round of 16, Corsair Cups, Alima Leagues, you name it. Back on track and back in action. Although I may be making an addendum to the schedule, and your day that you have off, plus the fact that it's holidays, plus all these things, I may have to just axe Corsair Cup for the month or move it to the next month. We'll find out. So I have to majigger the schedule, but TING finals and all the TING renovate stuff, all that information can be found on the schedule.
Okay. Then it is holidays for Americans. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it's a holiday for Europeans at all, is it?
No, but it's in terms of I don't feel like solo casting, and
Okay.
I've poked a couple other people since you mentioned it, and nobody's available.
You already did.
Anyways, we'll figure it out, guys. I'm not gonna like screw an event over for no real good reason. I'll be trying to move it, not cancel it.
Hurricane needs to meditate.
Okay, well, Hurricane is taking a few moments. I'm trying to catch up. What is this complaint in chat about ad-free viewing? I've missed this whole conversation.
The guy has Turbo and is complaining that there was TING ads. Because it's supposed to be an ad-free viewing experience.
Well, there were no Twitch ads that he got to see. He got to see the in-stream video that's played, and whether you...
Well...
I guess... If you view that as an ad, you view that as an ad. If I played like a video from YouTube, if I played a K-pop video in stream, are you going to consider that an ad? Like,
I mean, you know, technically as a point, they should say Twitch ads, but also technically shut up, you know?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, bitching in chat doesn't help, and it's also just making you look really, really entitled. Like, a TING ad for 5 minutes and the whole, like, world goes to hell? Oof.
Not even 5 minutes. It's
Oof.
2 minute. It's a 2-minute ad to pay for a $5,000 tournament. So
Oof.
I don't know. All right, Hurricane is finally back, and Catalyst, as mentioned, will be the first game in this best of 5. So let's get into it.
Cool.
Oh, I just had that wave of tired hit me. Can't wait to get some good sleep after this. I do feel so bad, man. I have this whole week we've been doing Korean stuff and like TING, and like I've just slept my week away, it feels.
Yeah, I haven't liked it. You know, we already talked about how much I hate the early sundown. Like, really hate sleeping in the middle of the day.
It's like becoming 4 o'clock darkness time. Feels bad, man.
Yeah.
Okay, well, guys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, it's game number 1 in the last best of 5 of the day. Also, gonna note with that little bit of sub/bit surge, it looks like Maxwell has already almost been killed as the bit boss, and he had a lot of health. So 250, that's 250 bits, $2.50 to finish him off. If you want to claim that bit boss title, please, by all means, do. But oh, actually, I can't even waste too much time because things are about to get heated. I'll do my shoutouts in a moment. Bottom right, we got the red Protoss, Hurricane.
In the top left as the green Terran, it is KeeN.
All right, so he's going for a proxy. And I do like that it's not Marauders, because I'm still, outside of TY's one victory, not super convinced about Marauders.
But the Marauders work so well against someone who didn't scout. The Hurricane scouting, so I am also, I guess, glad he didn't go for Marauders. But Marines? Marines. Why?
I guess if you could just put something in a bunker, that's all that's really going to matter at the end of the day. If that bunker even goes up. Thank you, Greyhawk4 for the 395 bits. Takes a literal stab at the bit boss and cuts him down to size. Also, people still talk about the in-ad stuff, in-stream stuff for like whatever's going on. I actually like this that was said out of Solid SMD. I don't mind watching on ad now and then, but I mind missing out on content due to the ad. TLDR, in-stream ads are tolerable. And that's kind of the goal of what we do. Even with Twitch ads or like video roll ads, we save them for between series. You're never going to miss out on gameplay footage because of it. And honestly, it's a nice break for us and the players just to take a breather now and then.
Yeah, that's definitely true. So this is really just a Marine barracks going full all in with this. It's something that Hurricane scouted and thus did not put a Nexus down, so that already puts KeeN in a weird, awkward position.
The shield battery is going to make it so like this ramp will be harder to break, but the high ground's going to disappear when that bunker falls apart. He also does a really good job with Marine micros so far, only loses one of them. But the bunkers don't get to finish, and oh, this one is barely going to get canceled.
I feel like this is like almost already game over. The shield battery is going to work out wonders for any that pops out. The Zealots are no longer... They kind of did their job. You know, they chased the Marines so far back, they killed the bunkers, they soaked up a lot of damage, and now Stalkers are really going to shine.
Yeah. Shield battery is doing such a good... Oh my god. There's that Reddit thread right now, like, what wins, a squad of highly trained elite Marines or one shiny boy?
Oh, yeah.
Shiny boy's doing pretty good right now, but it's out of juice and two of the Zealots fall.
I've enjoyed that meme lately. Now, he does have 2 more Stalkers on the way, and the bunker's only on the... This has to do game-ending damage to actually work. Pylon is going to depower the shield, but it was out of energy anyways, and Stalkers should still be able to kite all these Marines down, but Hurricane messing up the micro is going to lose one of the Stalkers, maybe the next one. Uh-oh, indeed.
I can't believe the Marines are starting to pick up some momentum here, but the shield batteries are finishing up. The new pylons here. Oh, he pulled all the boys! Okay. Well, not all of them, but most of them.
Stalker's still going to be very helpful. Now 2 shield batteries are available.
Okay, so this is where DPS matters more than damage and burst, right? Like, if you can actually take that fight with the probes, the Marines are better than Stalkers because of their long cooldown, but that's not what's happening right now. He's trying to surround the Stalkers, keep them from running away from the Marines. He almost has to surround on the one, trying to zone it out for the shield battery. Looks at Stalkers. Oh, barely gonna get saved! Oh my god, shield battery is so sick. It's
shielding up that one probe, too. That took a lot of damage instead of the Stalker.
Oh my god.
With a 3rd shield battery, this should be it.
Yeah, Hurricane is help. This is, that's over. GG. Oh, man. Shield battery is so cool. Like, I say this every time I see this. It is half sarcastic and half genuine. Like, on one hand, it's really cool to see the dynamic of the way that happened. But at the same time, you're like, that was pretty freaking good for 75 minerals. I'm just saying. Like...
But what is KeeN going to do now? I mean, we didn't get to see him versus Hurricane the first match. We saw Jakshi versus Hurricane. But every single Terran, whether you believe the game is imbalanced or not, every single pro Terran is saying that it is. So it doesn't even matter what you think, right?
Yeah, this is
probably
a pretty
did that because he thought
thing.
he was going to die.
That's actually... That's the one time I actually listen to Balance Wine, is when it's such a unanimous thing. Like, when you've got a couple of Terrans who complain they can't do this because, like, oh, they don't play mech or something, you're like, well, how about you try playing differently? But when it's like, the mech players, the bio players, the macro players, the micro players, they're all crying about the same thing, you're like, okay, maybe there's some merit to this.
Yeah, I know someone's going to bring up Nate, and I'm not even going to say that it's not the fact that he's not a pro gamer. It's just the fact that if he is leading the way, that's going to take months to actually implement at the highest skill level, if that is the right way to go. So KeeN is still at a loss for the temporary right here, right now.
Well, yeah, it always surprises me, too, because I remember one of the biggest compliments he ever got was Bjorn talking about how he watched Nate's builds at the start of Legacy. You know, like, what better reason is there for somebody to check out a streamer, even if they're not a pro gamer, than that?
Yeah. So, really, just the emphasis is on KeeN probably is feeling at a loss, regardless of what else is happening outside of this game. I'm guessing that was a response and a hopeful, idealistic momentum boost that got him an easy victory, and it didn't work.
Well, it's game number 2 here in the Ting Open. Group finals for the round of 32. In the bottom left, we've got the blue Protoss Hurricane.
In the top right, as the green Terran, it is KeeN. And just to make it clear, someone says that wasn't balanced, that was incredible defense by Hurricane. Agreed, but the reason KeeN did such a risky maneuver that no one does anymore is all the things I just talked about. Probably.
Yeah. I don't want to take anything away from Hurricane. Like, he danced around it well. The Stalkers at first were microed poorly, but he picked it up at the end. And he knew to stick around the shield battery and not just, like, try and take a desperate A-move fight with the probe line, which is kind of like what it looked like he was going to do initially. So I agree. I don't want to take anything away from Hurricane's defense, but there's a lot of, like, cause and effect behind that. Yeah.
So now KeeN's going to try and play out at least more of a macro game. I don't think he might proxy a factory or starport to be something a little bit silly, but 1x expand to start things off. Does he have anything up his sleeve? Does he have a particular style that works better? Is he going to go for Widow Mines? Is he going to go for Mech, which TY did and might be an answer? Or is he just going to try straight up like Joxy did, and Joxy failed? Joxy won 2 games, I feel, because Hurricane didn't want to abuse Blink Stalkers almost. And then once he was like, you know what, Blink Stalker openers are really good, he started winning.
We got some more bits and a new bit boss. Murder has been committed. Someone called 911. Black Spade Kamui, thank you very much. 500 more bits coming in. Says, love me some Ting Open. Yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying the show. Do us a favor. You know, you don't always have to cheer bits or sub. Just hitting the follow button or being active in chat. Being here is one of the best parts about casting for you guys, knowing that we have an audience who likes what we're doing. So thank you very much. Also, Theridin comes in with an 11-month resub. One more to go till he gets his part 2.
Hey.
Also, I guess the USA has started to waken up because Korea has been forced to sit down. US has turned into our #1 viewership at the time of this matchup at 20% of the viewers. Korea down to 17% from the 35 they had earlier or something crazy. Germany, Russia, Canada, Australia, Sweden, UK in that order.
Cool. So, Barracks opener becoming, obviously, I mean, it was getting more popular anyways, but Joxy was doing a couple of Widow Mine drops still. It's definitely fallen aside. Widow Mine's being revealed. No chance at a second shot. But Hurricane opens up with a Robo, and that's to be expected now anyways.
But Hurricane's not been using the Robo the same way a lot of the other, like, I hold Zest to really high regard now at this point. Between Home Story Cup and 2 monthly finals where he takes on the best Terrans in the world, like, I think you want to model your playstyle after Zest. And Hurricane hasn't really been playing too observer heavy. He is chronoing one out, though.
Yeah, Zest seems to really have a lockdown on what makes Protoss really good in this patch. Hurricane has been mimicking it to a degree. Again, in those, like, the last 3 games versus Joxy, that's when he really started to mimic it more, and I do contribute to why he won those games. So here, I mean, he hasn't had on a Twilight Council yet. He did go for a Colossus expand, I think, on this map, so that's maybe what he likes doing. But now he has to worry about this push, so we'll hold off on that later, because it's about this push right here, right now. It has Marauder Slow, rather. It was scouted. I don't know if it's going to work or do anything, to be honest. Hurricane doesn't send his Stalkers out like Zest does.
And it picks up an Observer, which is nice, but I mean, those are not hard to replace. And also, Greyhawk 4, thank you for the 100 bits. This is going to depower the pylon right before the shield battery finishes. Oh, timing on that was sick, because if the shield battery is done, it would repair that pylon, and that would not have died.
But it doesn't matter. This was a really good push that we saw from, oh man, who was it? Ryung or something like that? Against one of the Protosses a couple of days ago. It grabbed so many Stalkers because they were just in the middle of the map without Blink. That was what it was really powerful. Hurricane didn't start Blink greedily. He wasn't in the middle of the map waiting to get concussive shelled. He had better, more powerful units waiting defensively, and that just it doesn't bode well for what KeeN did. So he loses a chunk of units, but it wasn't the worst attack. He still has a lot of production, still has upgrades on the way.
Yeah, that not disrupting anything, though, still might hurt, because this is Hurricane actually just going to be pumping out a Colossus very quickly. And if this was a lot of Marauders, that'd be something, but a lot of Marines, the Colossus is going to have a great time. Someone in chat wants to know about, did Hurricane beat Impact? No, this is the, I guess you call it the losers match or whatever, the group finals. Impact won and has moved on to the round of 16 already.
Yeah. Is Gucci. So this is the Colossus expand, to third base expand, of course, that he did show last time he was on this map. So I guess that's the way he likes to play it. What really is like unfortunate about this, like you might not get that control of the blink stalkers in the middle of the map or the chance to kill your opponent if they're being really greedy, but you get to blink and Colossus before KeeN can really do anything about it. And then what is his answer? We saw someone try Vikings, we saw someone try Mass Liberators. Both get destroyed by blink stalkers.
Oh, I guess there still is trouble walling off on the ramp, by the way. We're witnessing here, the corner. I think that a lot of people getting upset about what we're talking about with Protoss here, guys. Protoss is under scrutiny because Protoss has had an absurdly good win rate. And I'm not talking on ladder, and I don't care about your Diamond League play. We're talking about watching the top Korean pros fighting each other. And it's not impossible to beat Protoss. TY showed us that. But it's proving that it's very, very, very difficult.
Well, it just sucks because I think we've acknowledged that Nate maybe has a way. Apparently, BC also likes, you know, has a way of dealing with Protoss. Things are being experimented and changed, and maybe this will settle. We've always acknowledged that. So when people are like, oh, they're just shitting on Protoss because they've always hated Protoss, like, I haven't hated Protoss since Wings of Liberty, thank you very much. But also, like, it's not the case. There's no doubt that Protoss is strong right now. Terrans don't know how to deal with it. That might change in the future, but it is a fact as of right now.
And I'm okay with things being OP for the time being. This is the off season for StarCraft 2. As long as things aren't ridiculous and imbalanced going into WCS 2018, I think that's all anyone really cares about at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. So as sad as it is that KeeN's gonna like struggle here a lot. I mean, maybe he has a great drop that does a lot of damage, something like that. It is. I think he's looking into this as a tough one for sure. Not necessarily because Hurricane's a good player. I mean, he is. He's very decent, but. Maybe not. He just pushed out without a choke to work with, gets concaved on, loses his Colossus, loses his sentries, and Immortal even goes down here. And the Stalkers might not be able to take out the rest of this army.
I like the micro and the Medivacs, but at the same time, you're like, Hurricane, why aren't you just shooting down the Medivacs?
That was a pretty bad move from Hurricane. Perhaps not expecting the rest of the army from KeeN. In fact, that's probably exactly what happened, but loses a good chunk of it, very expensive units.
I'm really honestly shocked he didn't target those Medivacs. I think that was a big mistake. Well, we got more drops heading out of KeeN. Army supplies are holding about even, but the base is not quite the case as Hurricane's on his 4th. Already setting up for it. But oh, I like what KeeN is doing. We discussed this, right? Like players need to change things up one way or the other, and he's going for pretty fast ghosts here.
Okay, I do like that. This is something that TY was including in his play as well as a couple more Widow Mines. But the Ghosts, I mean, EMP blankets an army that's a lot of damage. Even if it's not the susceptible, you know, Archons or Sentries, it's still damage. And we'll even be able to EMP shield batteries. I know some people were questioning that, perhaps newer to the game. It works on buildings.
I was going to say, it used to work on Nexus, so which certainly work on shield batteries. Nice pick off of the armor upgrades, though. That's a nice deny here for KeeN. And there's no stalkers to give chase, so he's going to be able to pick off another shield battery, as he's not been pressured to leave the base yet. Now with stalkers coming in, he might feel that pressure, but this just denied 2 forges of upgrades. This was a pretty good attack out of KeeN. Yeah,
it really was. The first attack going so well for KeeN. The second attack clearing up the upgrades. There's a reason Hurricane has not gotten charged yet, because I think in any other game where he's been peacefully expanding, taking good fights, I think he's already started it. But maybe not. Maybe his intention was always to add on a lot of High Templar, which he just did. He wanted to go into Disruptors too. Used a lot of that gas he just lost with the upgrades in not advancing his army right now, but rather getting new types of army, new composition.
I'm looking at this wall at the ramp, and it looks like you could still wall off with 2 depots and a bunker if you move that 1 depot here up in between these 2. But this is still a stupid, unintuitive way to wall off. I see why people are complaining about the ramp now.
Yeah. You know what? Hurricane also... Oh, sorry, KeeN. KeeN also is doing something we have not seen from... We did not see from Joxy, I should say. He's keeping up on upgrades. A lot of it has to do with just, you know, canceling 2-2, for sure. But I'm looking more towards the +2 ship weapons. Joxy never got ship weapons, it felt like. Definitely not +2.
I'm a little bit concerned though, because the +2 weapons is like, okay, the Vikings might get some burst in there on the Colossus, but there's no Liberators. Like, once the Colossus are gone, the Vikings are still going to be somewhat useless. The Stalkers will tear them down pretty quick. See if that ends up being the case, though. A lot is going to have to do with those EMPs. 3 Ghosts is a lot of EMP energy. He could potentially take all the shields off this army. Ooh, he's down an army supply, though. Army type's a little bit awkward, too. It's not exactly complimentary.
Yeah. He does have the upgrade advantage, which is like really rare to say at this point in the game. Big deal to kill those 2 forges. But down in the army supply, of course, Ghost super expensive mineral wise, and TY usually was already on 4 bases by the time he was investing into Ghosts.
Oh, that first EMP was bad. Kind of missed. The second one's pretty good. Hits almost all the Zealots. Gets some of the Archons. But these Vikings are all picked off. He's lost like half the Vikings. The fight's barely begun.
The charge lots are certainly weak, or rather the regular Zealots, because you never forgot charge, are very weak, but the Vikings have not really done their job, and now you have to worry about Warpers and Micro.
Not getting charged. That's a mistake for sure with this many Zealots invested in.
Yeah.
Bunker's going to hold this, actually.
Yeah, the charge lots, they went away so fast. They weren't dealing any damage, and they didn't soak up nearly as much either. They still didn't have +2 armor. Upgrades also shown in that fight there.
Hurricane was up like 20 army supply going into this, too. This was a fight I didn't think KeeN had a chance to win, but even though he takes his first scuffle, is that enough to win the war? Zealots distracted a lot of the army. They killed some SCVs.
I feel like if Hurricane did have charge lots, that it's not. You know, so much of the army is in Vikings and Medivacs right now, but there's not that critical mass of Stalkers to take on these Marauders, and charge lots would have been the answer. But is he still not really investing in the charge? Why?
I want to say, like, with Colossus, I can understand why you don't notice the extended thermal lance missing, but with charge, it's a huge deal. Hurricane, he's got no charge. He went up a ramp. There's like a million things he did wrong here. Like, and if he still wins the game, this is why I call things like Protoss Imba. Like, you can make so many mistakes, and such critical ones too, like not having charge.
Yeah, that just feels wrong. As it is though, Hurricane still manages to keep the contain. You know, still pressuring, still up an army supply even by a little bit. Now Archons are the real buffer here.
Concussive shells is so funny to watch. These disruptors are actually getting some pretty good hits. Is he out of Vikings? Is he to have? Oh my god. See, I'm just going to take a moment to complain here. I don't think... Whereas last game, Hurricane definitely deserved the victory beyond the shadow of a doubt. I don't feel that same way with this victory. Like, Hurricane... There was more than enough mistakes for me to, like, go tisk at that win.
Yeah.
I'm not calling Protoss Imba, guys. I'm just saying, like, that to me didn't seem like that should have been a win. That's all I'm saying.
Certainly a lot of this has to come down to reevaluating Stalkers, which is something I've harped on the past 3 days. But every time it looks like the Terran has that supply lead, has the positional lead, there's something with the Protoss army that makes it no longer callable for the Terran. You're just going to be like, well, this looks good for the Terran, and then it's 10 seconds later, you're like, oh, no, it's not. Just kidding. And certainly, you know, I've been pointing out upgrades a lot because usually Protosses are on 3-3 at that time. But yeah, that just looked like it should have been KeeN's.
I just can't get over the no charge. It's such a...
Yeah.
Apparently you don't need an upgrade. But okay, we actually have to take a pause here real quick because it is Game 3 and a quick commercial break is in store. So we'll see you guys here in 2 minutes. All right, we're back after a quick breather and hopping into game number 3. This could be the last one, though. We'll find out, as this is not looking so good for our Terran hero. Spotting to the top left, he is up 2-0 currently. It's the blue Protoss, Hurricane.
In the bottom right, as the green Terran, it is KeeN.
And I'm going to take a moment to piss many people off by broaching the subject, but I swear to God, if I got to hear one more person tell me how to live my life, or run my stream, or talk about StarCraft in any way other than the way I want to do it, I'm going to kill somebody! First off, let's get this down pat, guys. Nowhere is there advertising that this is a professional broadcast, and you should not be here with the expectations of like WCS caster production and professionalism. If you are, do me a favor, find somebody else who does behave like that and go support them. Don't cry about us. Find somebody else, help build them up, create competition in the community, and then maybe we'll consider changing our ways. But Zombie Grub and I are here to talk about StarCraft 2, frankly, honestly, and just enjoy it. And this is what we built our channel on. I actually apologize if this doesn't resonate with you, but I'm trying to help you make our chat less shitty by encouraging you to go find somebody else and support them.
Indeed. That's a good positive thing to do. So, KeeN finds himself down 2 games. 1 failed cheese, 1 macro game that perhaps he flubbed on a victory edge, but maybe Hurricane just, you know, really did have too much economy and could, you know, was something that KeeN couldn't even do anything about if he wanted to. But either way, he's down 2 games, and I'm not sure he has an answer.
Also, Neon Violet Square has been a map that has presented a lot of problems with this base and I guess this base technically in terms of where Protoss build things. I'm glad to see it didn't happen here and turn this into a 3-minute game. I think TY's loss was one of the most disappointing things I've seen on any of this, and it had nothing to do actually with balance or patches or race. It just had everything to do with not scouting on a map that you needed to scout. Yeah,
right. That was pretty disappointing. A pretty lame end to an otherwise great best of 5, but this has not been the best of 5, so if that is the way it ended, it just kind of, I don't know, that'd be like, yeah, that sounds about right. But Hurricane doesn't do it. He's pretty confident. I almost want to ask Hurricane if I could, right? Why he played the very first 2 games of the day like he did versus Joxi. I actually forget what happened the very first game, but in the second game with the Stargate opener, right? Because it seems like he tried it, it failed, and he's like, oh, just F that. Like, I'm going back to what seems to really be working, and it's working out really well.
It may, well, this may be the combination. He wasn't warmed up. Maybe he just didn't really know what to do. Or, I mean, I'm sure a lot of these guys are still finding their way on the patch. Granted,
yeah.
Some people finding their way easier than others, and that's not any inference to race. Just like some people will adjust to changes and try new things sooner than others. So others, I guess maybe in Hurricane's case, not so comfortable doing that.
Yeah. It was like, it really looked like a switch, you know? I was building up this story of maybe Hurricane hadn't played enough on the patch and was still doing the old stuff, but then he flipped the switch and it was like, no, this is exactly how a lot of other really good Protoss are playing right now, and it's working quite well. KeeN is going to try and go for a tank push, which, hey, if Hurricane was going for a Stargate pick 3rd base, that's what worked out really well for Joxi. But we saw Innovation do this, I think, on this map, in fact, or maybe it was a different map. Anyways, he did this. It didn't work out. We've seen TY try it and only get, like, you know, minimal trades. Hurricane's going for what is a pretty safe build and should demolish this with good positioning. If he even pushes. This might be defensive.
Shield battery hype. I guess just highlighting some of the stuff about the map, reminding everybody that this new map, these are blockers. You can't just walk over them. So laser grids and all that.
I wonder where the tank went. And it's in the medevac. It is a push.
I just want to say, though, this is where I think taking engagements against things like Zealots would be amazing. You've basically got SimCity that can't be broken.
Yeah. This is, I mean, as far as a tank push goes, this is pretty cool. It hits super fast. Not the 2-tank push that I was expecting a bit later on with Stim, which is what some of the other Terrans were doing.
I like the focus on the shield battery, too. Cannot heal itself, but can keep healing these units around it. He brought some SCVs to repair, but the burst damage from Stalkers is kind of insane, so he loses the tank.
Ooh. That felt a little overzealous, rather. The Hurricane did not quite have Blink, and the shield battery was running out of energy, but it was enough.
But it was only Stalkers,
oh no!
Grub.
Okay, Blink is done. Oh!
I think he actually flubbed the control. He could have killed that medevac.
I think he did. That might have been a difference of the attack speed right there, thinking that he would have attacked when he didn't, but picks it off anyways.
And to clean up what was inside it too. So KeeN unfortunately forced to fall back, and
I hope he doesn't die. There's no warp prism, there's not that many stalkers, but he is in a little bit of a panic, built a bunker.
Not going to be done in time. These stalkers are low from the previous engagement, so pushing up through this, well, apparently it's going to happen because there's an observer giving high ground vision. I take that back.
Observer, also good unit. If it's 3 Marines in a bunker, that would still be enough, but it's going down to 2, maybe even 1. Okay. 3 is good.
What's that Watchmen quote where it's like, "This is how the world ends," or something? Not with a bang, but a whisper. It's gonna feel like.
Is that a Watchmen quote? I thought that was just a quote.
Or which one from Watchmen I'm thinking of then?
Well, Watchmen was the Who Watches the Watchmen, and
that's the world burns. They'll look back. They'll ask for help, or I'll say no, or something like that.
Yeah, there's that one too. I don't know.
That's what I was thinking about. Sorry, excuse me. I totally messed that up. But that's what I was thinking about here when it came to like stalkers and balance.
Yeah. Okay.
The balance team's just like, no.
All right, so the bunker holds. If that wasn't built, he probably... I again don't want to say die, because there wasn't... but probably takes a lot of damage. And now he's going to try and continue his efforts here. Hurricane went for a 3rd base and a lot of tech here. Robotic Space, and Thermal Lance, Colossus, 1-1. So his arm side doesn't look that great, but it's good enough.
Look at the resources lost, by the way. It's a little bit tough to look at for the Terran, but KeeN's going to try and equalize that with a drop, see if this can get anything done. New guy, Nauticals, wants to know if we replace replay packs. I was going to say real quick, only to our subscribers at the end of every stream. Gets on top of the Colossus, but I don't think he's got the damage for it. The force fields block him out really badly, and he's just got to retreat. But the Stalkers are going to catch this.
No!
Oh my god.
Oh god. Well...
He does that thing again where he doesn't target the medevac initially, and I think that's a really weird move out of Hurricane.
Yeah, that could have been like GG demoralizing, but at least he got something from that.
What was that Marauder death sound? Hello? That was horrible.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
I was like, oh.
I don't know. Once again, Hurricane finds himself in that awkward concave position against a maybe not superior Terran force. Fairly superior Terran force. It got close. Once the mortal went down, it was easier. But Hurricane is starting to bank a lot of money. He does have a strong economy. His upgrades are done. He just needs some time to warp in here.
It's really interesting to me, by the way, that Colossus could walk over that where Ultralisks couldn't. And I can understand some of the logic on why, but it just doesn't seem consistent. But Widowland's going to burrow, maybe get a hit off. It'll be picked off right away after. Thank you very much to Riamar. Riamar, my dude, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the 43-month resub. And then Diet Soda, I guess, bought himself another subscription slave here with New Guy Nauticals gifting him a sub.
Subscription slave?
That's what's going to be, man. You just like own these people. You bought them at auction. One sub at a time.
Jesus. Shield batteries being taken out is a nice pickoff, but I think we talked about this like in a cast a while ago. 75 minerals, not too hard to replace. No, instantly does that.
This is tough, man. The Colossus are gonna actually be really big and probably easier to kill than some of the gateway units will be, but they're still a big threat. And unfortunately, he's got to shoot through the Zealots and dodge past the force field to get on top of it, but as noted, it goes down. But soaking so many hits.
Oh, not making the last Colossus kind of sucks, but KeeN just gonna tap that anyways.
GG. Hurricane, ladies and gentlemen, will take the series 3-0 and advance on to the round of 16. And I am sad to report that officially, at this point, all Terran are out of the Ting Open. It's only Protoss and Zerg for the rest of the tournament. But do keep in mind, this was all determined long before we even reached the new patch. Like, 3 other regions of groups, 6 other groups completed before the balance change. So this was like a Terran problem that was a Terran problem before it was a Terran problem. Joxy and KeeN were just our last hopes. Also, more sub action coming in here. Riamar actually popping off a gifted sub to Idanokev. So thank you very much for that, Riamar. DeWitt49 comes back for 42 months in a row. Wait, did Riamar sub? Then I want to sub. Hi. And then, oh god, Stigvatland. I'm gonna guess 12 months. I've not said that name correctly. Oompa Oompa. Thank you very much for the 1-year sub. And hey, now you qualify for a real life Partoof. So make sure you send us a message here on the channel so we can later get you a form to fill out. We have to feed it to the bot. The bot verifies you've been here for 12 months. Beep boop beep boop, and then it will respond to you if you have been. We actually had 2 instances recently though, so this is like 3 years of doing this where we haven't had problems, but recently 2 people who submitted it were verified incorrectly. Like it said, not that people who weren't subbed long enough got subbed, but people who were like at 13 months, it didn't count as 12 for some reason. So if that ever happens, like you send us a message and I don't respond to you, or the bot doesn't respond to you in a couple days, don't be shy to reach out again. Because if you've been here for a year, we want to reward you accordingly so. But hey, with those gifted subs and those new subs and those resubs, we're up to 1,171 total subscribers here at the end of the stream today. That's pretty nice. On top of this too, our follower goal did get met. We hit 100. In fact, finished at 137. That's pretty nice too. And some nice generous bits from you guys throughout the course of the stream. So thank you for making today awesome. As I said, we're going to have about 2 days off. So nothing tomorrow, nothing on Saturday. But you may find Zombie Grub streaming on her channel in her free time. If you want to do your shout outs here really quick. Yeah,
absolutely. Especially when I'm not casting, I'll be doing some longer streams. But you can catch me on Twitch at Zombie Grub and Twitter at ZG Gaming.
Thank you, by the way. We've got some more subs coming here at the very end. Riamar's just dropping those subs. Yo, Riamar, I gotta warn you. I just gave away like 15 subs throughout the course of the stream, and it locked out my PayPal. So just be careful with that, man. But thank you for gifting a sub to Empty Century. Riamar buying up people at auction as well, I guess. This is probably an inappropriate joke. I'm probably not going to make that joke again, actually, thinking on it.
Maybe you should stop, man.
But Ictovian, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub as well, joining in here. And yeah, so we're going to go to the last set of Ting ads before the stream is all said and done. You guys can watch Kyra tell you a little bit more about their services, but the TLDR Ting is a US only mobile phone service available only in the United States. They're looking to save you some money each month on your phone bill. They are not desperate for customers. If they can't help you save money, they'll tell you don't sign up with us. But for those of you that they can help save some cash with to give you cheaper phone bills, be sure to check them out through the link down there, bttv.ting.com, because you'll get $25 in credit that you can use to either put towards a free month trial, essentially, with Ting, or just use on their store to buy stuff. I'm not going to read what Artificial Cutie wrote, but I'm just going to give you a quick salute. And that will send us off. So again, thank you guys very much for joining us. Hit the follow button if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys later. Enjoy these final words from our sponsors, and have a great day, everybody.